Welcome to the all-new podcast, Firewives. I'm your host, Noha. Each week, I'll be talking with my fellow firewives about what it means to live this life. We dive into some of the realities of being with a firefighter, including the challenges that can bring, but also the incredible rewards and sacrifices that the firefighters and their families have to make. Fair warning, the audio in these first few episodes is not award-winning. I don't want to hear any bitching about it. Stick with me. It gets better. So welcome to the podcast. You're my first guest.
This is so exciting.
So exciting. I wanted to start by having you introduce yourself. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm Colleen Mullen. I don't even know how to introduce myself. Wife of Matt Mullen.
No. You are not wife of anyone. You are, but that's not what makes you. That's the point of the podcast, is to highlight the wives and the spouses and the husbands and everybody, people who have to support the firefighters.
Yeah. I am a para at a middle school, and I work with high needs kids, and it's always exciting. We have 3 kids, twin juniors. They're 16, and Delaney is 12.
Nice.
So I feel like I'm basically a mom, but that's great.
Yeah. Did you go to college?
I did. I majored in TV video, which then quickly learned that that was not at all what I was interested in. And actually I had met Matt, and he was firefighter, paramedic. And growing up, I never thought science was my thing. I didn't get good grades in science, so I never thought I could be a nurse. But then I started taking nursing classes and wanted to go to nursing school. Yeah. And then met Matt, got married, and then had twins. So, you know,
kind of took
life
over.
happens.
Yeah. How did you meet Matt?
We met at a bar in college.
Nice.
It's now a Chipotle. So
Oh, really? Oh, it's
so
kind of a bummer.
So sad.
Oh, no.
My friend, it's like such a long story, but short story is my friend introduced us. She was dating his roommate, Josh, and she was my sorority sister, and all the sorority girls were going out to meet the firefighters. And it was like this big, like, oh my God. And we all went out and met. And my first impression of Matt was not like, yes, he's the one. It was like so awkward and hilarious. And he came up to me and my friends, and he said, hey, have I ever taken you to the hospital?
What?
No, I'm not kidding.
That's how he came on to you? Hey, have I ever taken you to the hospital?
He came up to us and he was like, hey, you look familiar. Have I ever taken you to the hospital? And we were like, no, creeper. Like,
no,
thank
get
you.
away from us. Thank you.
Turns out he actually was in our room because he took our suite mate.
Oh, so
he had, like, there was, like, he remembered my face, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, you're like,
so
you're
creepy.
right. Yeah, that came off weird, but
yes.
You're right.
And then we ended up talking, and he got the stomach bug, and I never heard from him. So I went on with life, and then later on, he called and was like, hey, do you want to go out? And I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And my friend Rachel was like, no, give him a chance. He's such a nice guy. And I was like, and then I'm glad I did.
And lo and behold.
Yeah.
Wow. So how long have you guys been together?
Since 2003.
Wow. Time flies.
And we met in 2000, that before Christmas break, 2002, 2000.
Wow.
I know.
How long has he had his trademark mustache? The handlebars?
Oh my God, I don't know. That's the debate. How long has he had it?
I think as long as I've known him.
Really?
I don't know.
He came home from a hurricane with it. Like, it was like a USAR. It was like a funny, everyone's growing a mustache. So, like, even before, like, Movember was cool. I don't know.
I feel like he had facial hair when I met him, but now I can't remember, but I don't know. Did he always have the full thing?
He had a goatee and he cut it real short.
Okay.
So he always passed his respirator test.
Yeah.
And then the chief was like, okay, enough is enough. You can't have that.
You can't have it. Mm-hmm.
And so I think he shaved it all. I can't remember if that's when it became a thing. I know he came home from a hurricane and I was like, what is this?
Okay.
And now it's like, he asked me, he's like, should I keep it? And I was like, well, now I don't know.
Because he's not on the fire department
anymore.
anymore.
So now I'm like, I don't know.
Wow, crazy.
It is weird.
So, like I mentioned, I have a lot of questions I can ask, but I guess the first thing I want to hear from you is just, what do you think of being a wife of a firefighter? Tell me about your experience, whatever you think people would want to hear or know about.
I feel like, wow.
Very vague. Whatever you want to talk about. It's open.
I feel like it's wonderful and amazing and crazy stressful and wild. It's roller coaster.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I know. But I met him as a firefighter. Like we were talking about before. Like you go into it thinking one thing, like this is so exciting. Oh my God. And then you're like, oh man, It like never ends. Like, yeah.
It's harder than you
It's
think
harder
it's going to
than,
be.
yes, it's harder than you think.
So you've been with him pretty much since the beginning.
He was I think he was an EMT right when he could be, like 18.
Okay.
And he was a volunteer firefighter in his hometown. I don't know, 16 maybe. So when I met him, he was 19 and he was working on Long Island, yeah.
And he just retired.
I
Congratulations.
know. Thank
It's
you.
really exciting.
It's crazy.
He's young to retire. I know he has another job. He has something else that he's kind of very passionate about and moving on to.
Yes.
Tell me how that has been, his, decision to retire and leave the fire department.
It was really hard. The company he works for now has been asking him, and I was like, no, you're crazy. Mm-hmm. You've been in it for so long. Everybody talks about the pension.
Yeah.
And it's like, once you hit a certain point, it's like, yeah, that's a big deal. I mean, it's like they go through so much. They should be.
It's only like benefit almost, if that's even the right word for it.
Yeah. And so I said, you have to at least make it to 20 years. And he did. So it's been weird. Yeah. I feel like he was really off center for a while. Mm-hmm. Like, it's like, you're not going. So we did have the summer. So he hurt his shoulder.
Oh,
so
I don't think I knew that.
Out for a while anyway, which maybe helped instead of it being like this, like, bam,
this is your last day.
Last day.
You're done.
He was, and he was still helping on the IT because he does the IT too and things like that. But yeah, I feel like once it was official, like we had that dinner and I slid down the pole.
You did?
I'm like, I don't even know if I'm allowed to tell anyone that.
Oh, maybe I'll edit that. That's awesome.
I was so scared.
That's amazing.
It's so far.
That's awesome.
I was like, this is something I want to do. And I thought everybody would be like, no, you're not allowed to do it. And I won't name names, but everyone was like, no, you got this. And they were like helping me, cheering me on. And like,
oh my God, I'd be so scared. Did he catch you at the bottom or what?
I went too slow.
Oh, no. Just,
they were like, you got to put my jacket on. So you go. I was like, I don't want to go fast. And they're like, if you don't put it on,
you're just going to be holding on.
And that's how it was all the way down the pole. I was
fine.
But
you did it. Amazing.
Did it.
Amazing. You could be a firefighter.
That was
That's awesome. So do you think that now that he's retired, do you think that there's time for you to kind of take front and center a little bit? Because, as we both know, firefighters' schedule makes it really hard for us to plan anything and do anything.
It does. I was thinking about that. I was like, it was always, he wanted more, not in a bad way.
Yeah.
But in like, he was on the rescue team.
Yeah.
He was on the dive team. He was on the e-board.
And he does IT for them.
And he does IT. And I remember he literally always had a meeting. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go back to school. And he was like, sure. But then it's like childcare and like who comes first. And it's like, he's, quote, making the money. We'll see.
Yeah.
I hope.
Anything you would want to go back to school for now or start a book club or?
I know. So that's such a great question. I have been thinking about it. I will keep you posted.
Okay. Awesome. Count me in if you start a book club. I'm just saying.
Oh my God, yes. We should do that.
We should
do that. I
It'd
love that. Yeah.
What do you think the best part of being the wife of a firefighter is?
It's hard to say. Immediately you're like, your flexibility of schedule. But then it's like, not
really.
Not really at all. Because then gone Christmas, gone.
Yeah.
Like, quote, they're home.
But not really.
But they're not really. You're right. They're like sleeping or they're stressed or they're, I know. What is the best part? I don't know. It's like everyone you meet.
It's hard,
right?
but I think part of it is the community for me. If I needed something, I know there's always somebody who would be there for me. But at the same time, the last couple of years, and especially since COVID, I mean, you and I have barely seen each other.
I know.
Matt was one of our groomsmen. Like, that's so crazy. Mm-hmm. So that kind of comes and goes a little bit. I think for me, part of it is the pride, too.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I'm really proud of
the sticker on the car.
Yeah. Yeah, and just like the fact that, they do something that's so amazing.
Yeah.
But also the pride in us and supporting them.
I agree.
We do a lot,
yeah.
And I feel like that's part of why I wanted to do this because that's not really highlighted so much.
No, it's true. It's very like, what does your husband do? I'm like, he's a firefighter.
Yeah.
It's like,
you want to jump up and say it, right?
Yeah.
But
it's true.
But that also doesn't encompass everything else that comes along with it.
The sacrifices. Yeah. It's true.
So tell me, what's one of the harder parts about being married to a firefighter? Or what's been the one thing? Like, I'll give you my example for us. The overtime thing, and I don't know if that's a thing for Matt, but I feel like it's every fire spouse that I've spoken to agrees. The overtime thing, it's like they hallucinate, they dream, they're just so obsessed with this whole overtime thing.
And getting it.
And getting it, and then they complain when they're working too much, but they just love overtime. So for me, that's always been the thing, because Robbie will ask me like, okay, hey, there's overtime in tomorrow night. Do you mind if I bid on it? And that's great that he wants to include me in that. But then if he doesn't really want to do it, it's just sometimes it makes me feel like I'm being the bad guy. If I say,
but like, why did you ask?
Why did you even ask me?
Correct.
Why? Like sometimes he'll text me 3 or 4 messages in a row. Should I take the overtime? I don't know. I'm tired. I need to study. I need to do this. You know what? I'm not going to take it. So why are you even asking me? Like, what is
the conversation I just had with my 16-year-old? But yes, it's like similar. It's like, do you want to go to swim practice? Well, Mom, do you think I should go to swim practice? Because she has 2 and feels. And I was like, well, I don't know. And she goes, well, I don't know. My hair's going to be wet. And like, excuse.
Yeah.
And then I'm
so
like,
why
so I think you're feeling like you don't want to go.
Exactly.
And she's like, well, are you mad? And I was like, Granny, why am I mad?
Right. Yeah. It's your practice. Right. It's your overtime.
It's your overtime.
Right.
Like, you won't be with us, but like, we're going to be sleeping.
And we're set. We don't have plans, so it's not a big deal.
Right.
And if you know we have plans, then don't do it.
Do they, like, deep down want you to say no? Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like maybe, but also he just gets so excited about overtime, which I think...
It's like winning.
It's like winning. But it's like, it's a reflection that he must love his job.
That's
to
true.
be so happy to be there.
Yeah.
But also, who cares? I don't know. Take it, don't take it. Just tell me what you're doing so I know what we're doing.
It's true.
You know? But what about you? That's like the one thing that I feel like has always been.
Yeah. I think it's like the absence, and even when he's home, that if he had like a bad shift or he's tired, it's like, okay, I have a plan for the day. This is what I need from him, but he's really not available.
Right.
Like, he's home, but he's not there, you know?
Do you feel like the girls felt that about him growing up?
I think they had to have. I think for sure. And they never, like, blamed him. There was, like, Daddy's tired. Daddy does, like, they know why.
We never wonderful girls. Of course they do.
No,
yeah.
We never hid anything from them. Like, oh, Daddy had a really bad shift, or Daddy didn't sleep, or Daddy, has stuff. So it was always fine. I don't think they ever, like, resent is a really hard word, but I don't think they ever, like, were mad about it.
Held it against him or anything. Yeah. Okay. Now, you mentioned that you're a para at their school. You're also a doula. I know that about you.
I know, and maybe that's something I want to get back into.
Yeah,
I
you used to love that
forever. Oh my God, I loved it.
Yeah. Would you have to recertify or something, or you can just start?
That's a great question. I think I'd want to take some, like, refreshing
Refresher
classes and stuff, but
that makes sense.
Yeah, that'd be
awesome.
That would be great. I can do. I know, but it's hard with the hours.
Exactly. Like even taking a sports class, like a class at the Y or something. It's every Monday. Well, you can't do every Monday.
Correct.
You can't join a book club because you can't always be there on the right day.
Correct. Or but we always have a mom's night out.
Yeah.
Every second or whatever Thursday of the month.
Right.
And it's like
sometimes you can be there, sometimes you can't. Do you feel like him being a firefighter has ever gotten in the way of your relationship, like between the two of you as a couple? Not just, scheduling and trying to figure out who's doing drop-off and pickup, but just as a pair, as a couple.
For sure. But I don't know if it's different than any other married couple. I mean, I do think it's probably more stress-driven, like arguments or disagreements. But, like not being present. I want you to be part of the girls' lives. And like I said, I don't even think the girls realized half of the time that I was like, let's go. Like get into it.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's been really hard. So we've gone to counseling. It was awesome. I think part of it was post-traumatic stress maybe type, like reaction for him, and just not being able to express what he wanted to express in a normal sounds bad, but you know what I mean? And a conversation wise, and he would get it was too much. And so we definitely needed to reset, and it was great. But I feel like if we didn't do that, if he wasn't open to that, we had a big falling out right after Delaney was born. Well, so high stress, baby, everything. If he didn't recognize in himself that something was off, and he was like, we need to talk to someone, then 100% we wouldn't be a couple.
Wow.
For sure.
That's great that he was able to.
I was like, absolutely.
That's really awesome.
I am so done. And maybe everyone feels like that every once in a while, but I was like, no, for sure. But this was great, yeah. And he called immediately, and we were like...
That's great.
Yeah, so there are some...
That's really good.
Good. I do feel like recently there's been more push for... mental health help for them.
Yeah.
It used to be so faux pas, oh my God, what, you're talking to someone, or I just feel like the old boys club, or, it's not cool, it's not okay. But I think more people are taking advantage of that, and I think it's been good.
I think you're right, and I know a lot of times I tease Robbie that they're all it's like a pissing contest all day.
Oh my God,
everything they
it's
talk
so
about, it's so stupid. You know, like there's some things that he tells me they would say to each other, and I'm like, there's not a female in my life that I would ever talk to or think about that way. And Robbie's an easygoing guy, let alone somebody who might not be, you know? So I don't know. I think their mentality of like, I am man, hear me roar, doesn't always fly with me.
No, yes, I very much agree with that.
Yeah. That's actually one of the things I was going to kind of touch on too. Yeah. Do you feel like their alpha male thought process is something that gets in the way, or do you like that? Do you like the fact that he's alpha male, or how do you feel about it?
I do think that gets in the way sometimes. He always wants to, I don't know how to describe it. Like, not be in charge, not at all. But like be the one, be like, to do it. So even like silly things, like in the house, like we'll be, I don't even know, like emptying the sink and he'll be like, not like bumping me out of the way, but he'll be, I got it. It's like I got it. Like I want it. And I just don't think he can ever stop. Like he like needs to always be in motion or like helping or it's not a bad thing, but it's also like, I got this too, buddy.
I can handle it. It's like, I do it all when you're not here.
Know, right? What do I do when you're not here?
Like, I don't call you to come home to empty the sink or whatever you're doing.
Exactly,
right.
Yeah, so true.
I think for me, that's one of the bigger difficulties is the whole, because I'm like, I think I'm pretty modern and I'm very, I think you are too. And we're very like, you know, we're feminist in the way that like, we don't need anybody. We're in it because we want to be with you, not because we need you.
Correct.
But sometimes their alpha thing is very annoying.
Yes, to say the least.
To say the least, exactly. One other thing that I've also kind of talked to Robbie about and noticed and thought about a lot is the divorce rates that happen in emergency medicine. I know firefighters, police, anybody who's in EMS, they end up, you know, they have, I think it's like a 50% rate or something. I may have just come up with that number.
But I think it's higher than the national average.
Much higher than the national average. So what do you think of that? What do you think, you know, contributes to that? What can we do? What do you think?
I think it's true for sure. I think, like we were saying, I think it's stress. I think it's them not having another outlet maybe or coming home and being stressed, and then it's just like a constant battle. Like in the early years, for sure, like we were talking about before Matt and I saw a therapist, it was like he would come home, bring his stress home, and I would feel like always walking on eggshells around him. Like, okay, he's stressed out. So we all need to be, not like quiet, but we all need to be like mindful of daddy. Like if daddy is wants to, like, you know, we have to just everybody
cater to him almost.
Cater to him, make sure he's happy. And that takes a huge toll on you as a person, the family, the dynamics. But yes, that was the analogy I used with him. Like I always feel like I'm walking on eggshells around you. And he was like, okay. He is much better. I do feel like it's hard to just snap out of it. I mean, we only saw a therapist for a little while. We don't, but like I think a regular check-in is probably good. Yeah. But yeah, I feel like it's easy to get back in that habit. And it is like, it took a toll on me personally, I can say that. And definitely the marriage as far as like, you know, there's ups and downs in marriages. People talk about it all the time. And it's like, is this where I want to be? But then you just have to like talk about it and go on dates and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
remember why you got together in the first place.
Yeah. You know, like, do you feel?
Yeah. I do and I don't. I think Robbie's kind of the opposite of that, where he does not express himself at all. And he likes to joke that he doesn't have any emotions. And he sometimes acts like that. And I have to kind of pull it out of him. And I remember making the joke when we were younger that if we were having a fight or something and I would ask him a question, I would always ignore his first answer because it was always a joke, whether it was in person or a text. And in the beginning, I didn't know that. And I felt like he was brushing me off or making light of what I was saying.
Got it.
But then once I figured out, I would say, haha, that was funny. Okay, but what do you actually think?
Well, see, that's a good strategy.
Yeah, and I realize now that was just his way of kind of deflecting so he doesn't get into the emotions. But when he sees that I'm pushing, he has to. But I remember one time you asked me if Robbie ever saw a therapist. I don't know if you remember that.
I don't remember.
You asked me a long time ago, and he Never has, never will, I don't think,
Okay.
unless I kind of push him to. Like, if I told him we need it as a couple, I think he would. But for himself alone, I don't think he ever would, because he's just like that. Like, he pushes the emotions down. And I think that's something he probably gets at the firehouse a lot, too. Like,
for sure.
They don't talk about stuff.
You don't talk about anything.
We don't talk about anything. Mm-hmm. We just went to a fundraiser for this secondhand place locally in Bridgewater. Yeah. And it's a secondhand place for kids and moms and things like that. And they had some speakers. And I guess they started a group for the dads. A lot of dads don't have a group that they can talk to, and they still feel a lot of things after having babies.
Oh, cool.
So I jokingly asked him, I was like, do you need a group? And he was like, no, I have a boys club at work. Like, I don't need that.
But it's not like they talk.
But then he said, he's like, we don't talk about stuff.
There you
So
go.
what's the point of the boys club? That's not helpful.
It's not a club.
But that's just how he is. So it's a little bit different, where it doesn't feel like he takes it out on us or on me, but sometimes it feels like he's just kind of going through the motions and making jokes to make light of things, but doesn't really talk about stuff.
Got it.
You know?
So I should say Matt does talk to someone.
That's great.
Separate.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that was good. And I do feel like it helps center him. Like, be like, oh, right. I know, it's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, it kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier. You know, they go to the firehouse sometimes in the boys club concept. They get these ideas and they come home and
you're like, no.
Yeah, and you kind of have to shut it down a little and bring them back to real earth and real life.
That's not real, right?
That's not real. Like, in 2025, we can't be saying and
ideas
doing these things, right? Especially we have little kids. Like, we don't want to be raising them that way.
Yes. I don't even think they know it, though. They just come home and you're like, where did you hear that? Like you said.
Yeah. It's like a little kid who goes to school and comes home with a new swear word.
It's so true.
Like, who taught you that word, right? But they don't even realize that they're talking that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are
And,
they
like,
really adults?
I don't know. And sometimes some of the gossip they come home with.
I know, it's so funny.
It's crazy. Like, are you in middle school? Like, what are these things you're saying?
So true.
But you know, whatever. They have good friends. They have good community, which is awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
They need it.
Yeah.
But oh my God.
But oh my God. It's so true. Okay, so we were kind of touching a little bit on, you know, if I were to talk to somebody who's just started dating a firefighter, how they would be super different than what it really is. What, if you can think of anything, what would be different than what you expected back when you first met him? Like the whole, you know, it's like, ooh, a firefighter, yay, oh my gosh, so cute and sexy and blah, blah, blah.
Right, and like, oh my God, the calendar, none of that is real.
None of that is
by
real.
the way.
Right. If they work out, we're lucky, right?
Yeah, it was super fun and exciting, but also we were like real young, living in New York. It was Matt and three other firefighters, and then one of them moved out. And then his friend from high school moved in, another female. It was great.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it was so fun. Not a firefighter. And so they like the tones would go off all night, all day. It was like so exciting.
So you were living with him. Was he volunteer at that time? Like, why were the tones going off where you were living?
Yeah, so it was like, so Long Island has mostly just volunteer firefighter departments.
No
so like
kidding.
They were volunteers, but like they were the fire department.
So they're home and they have to just leave. Okay.
And so that was wild, but also like fun at the time.
Yeah.
It was like, woo, and we'd listen to the scan and be like, oh my God, yeah, they got a house fire.
Oh my
And,
gosh.
like, yeah. And they'd come home all amped up and like, you know, you're young, you're going out. It's like so fun. And then, you know, when it gets like time to settle down and like, is this really still, you're still running out?
Yeah.
Is this still, it's
How
like,
old are you? Right.
God, we were 20. I was 22.
No, I
23.
mean like,
oh,
how old are you
right.
still doing this for a living? That's so hard.
Right.
You can't keep doing that. Right.
I know.
Yeah.
It's like, yes. So it is fun and exciting. And
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, okay, wait, let's wrap our head around how to fit this into like a real life. Right?
Right.
And
you want to have kids, you have to be able to be the sole parent.
Correct.
You know, 48 hours out of the week.
On Christmas. Weird little things like going to his family's, like Thanksgiving.
When he's working.
If he's working
Yeah.
and it's their year.
What do you do?
I mean, I love them. But
yeah.
it's like, oh,
Right.
weird. I know. It's
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. You
Little
have to
things
be able
like
to
that.
do both sides, whether or not he's there.
Right.
That's true. I never really thought about that
Yeah.
much. Yeah. I go to all of his family stuff,
Yeah.
whether or not he's there.
Correct.
Not necessarily in reverse, though. Like, he may not bring the kids and go to my side of the family if I'm not available.
Interesting.
But I'm usually available.
Okay. But still, that's super interesting.
Yeah, maybe if it was like a big thing, he would.
Yeah.
I know one time he went to a funeral that I wanted him to go to because I couldn't.
Okay.
but that was like a really important event. But for like a dinner, they were to just invite me like, hey, come over, bring the kids for dinner. Like I went and brought the kids to his sister's house the other day. He was at the firehouse, but I did it anyway. But I don't think he would necessarily do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Things are going to come up in this podcast.
Watch out.
I know. Watch out. That's right. We support the firefighters that we're married to or with through a lot of stuff. And sometimes it stinks and sometimes somebody dies and they are witness to it, whether it's a patient, whether it's one of their coworkers.
Yeah.
How was that for you? Like, think of a time when it happened, how you had to support Matt through that.
He had a really, really early on, the girls were babies, probably his worst call. I won't go into too much detail, but
you can, whatever you feel comfortable with.
And it has affected him since. It was a kid, so that was really hard for him. And I think that just being patient and letting them, feel the feels but like not necessarily even with you, or like if they need to, like being understanding, like they want to hang out with the guys. Do they want to like deal with it that way? That's fine. Like however they need to. Or like Sammy's funeral. Yeah. Oh my gosh. It was lovely. And I think that is a huge part of it. Like it was like nice. It sounds terrible, but like it was nice to go be with everyone.
Of course.
And like
that's the point of the funeral, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It was. They did a great job. And I think that like them having like a big send off is good for them. Not just Sammy's family,
right?
But like for them. And
well, they were his family,
correct?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know Matt was really close with Sammy, right?
Yeah.
It must have been really hard.
We have the mustache ornament, but we have it up all year.
Oh my gosh, that's so
for
nice.
sure. Yeah.
We have the ornament too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really sweet. We should do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Robbie was really close with him too, but I don't know how long he knew him. I don't know the like years and stuff, but I mean, it had to have been at least 10 years, I think. So yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's tough. So if you were going to listen to this podcast, what would you want to hear about? What would you want me to ask somebody? What would you want to talk about?
Great question. I'd want to hear how other people are doing too. Yeah. Like we said, the newly married wives. How are you holding up? Do they have any questions that we can like phone in, or like
that's a good one.
You know what I mean? Like have them ask, or like help, or
remember we had that Facebook group at one point?
Oh my god, I loved that. What happened to that?
I think COVID. I think we stopped seeing each other and hanging out. We used to see each other all the time.
Oh my gosh, right? That was
and then
great.
Kids and we get busy.
Hard. But getting together is great. Yeah.
Do you have an outlet, or do you have something that you do for yourself? We talked a lot about Matt, even though the point of this podcast is to be about you, but it's such a big part of your life, of course. Anything that you do to cope, or the days that he comes home and he just goes to bed and you have to do everything, or he's mad or whatever. What do you do to deal with that?
I don't know. I think I just like to go through the regular day. Also, I love my Peloton.
That's awesome. That's really good.
I love it.
It's great.
Yoga is great. Going out with friends. Nice. I know. I wish we all still lived.
I know.
We still gotta find a time.
We have to.
Yeah.
Maybe once I get this podcast going, I'll start a new group. So I can start interviewing more people.
Podcasts. We should all meet.
Yeah. And you know what? Then it would be the epitome of this, where it's like sometimes you can come, sometimes you can't. But if there's enough people, there's always going to be enough people to go.
Yeah. And then we could all talk about what we're feeling that week.
Talk about our firefighters.
Talk about them. And I feel like more things would come up.
Yeah.
And that would be so good.
Yeah. But also, there's a lot of politics at the fire department. And I wonder if that would...
Politics.
Right? Robbie will always come home and be like, so... And then he'll tell me something that happened, like a high school. I think it's the silliest thing, but it's funny.
It's true.
And you have to be careful what you say in front of people.
No, you're so right. I didn't even think about that. Right? I have so much to say right now.
Even just the way they feel it's not necessarily right now, but every time there's a new chief, half the department's happy, half the department's mad.
You can never make everyone happy.
You can't ever make anyone happy.
Yeah.
What about when Matt was studying for lieutenant's exam, or he made captain, right?
No.
He didn't make captain.
No.
Okay. Did he try?
Yes. Okay. He was one away, which, it always happens. Whatever, it happens. And then he didn't study again and didn't take it again, so we can't fault. I know it's you choose
what's your priority?
What your priority is. Some people just want to be drivers. People, that's great too.
How did you feel every time Matt would want to take an exam? Like a lieutenant's exam or something?
I would push and be excited, but he is historically a terrible studier.
Okay.
He doesn't like reading. He doesn't. So it would be like, let's do this.
Yeah.
And he would do it all at the end, and then. But I like that they did the assessment center. They brought the assessment center in.
That was
I love that.
a good change.
It shouldn't just be book smart.
Absolutely.
It should be both.
Yeah.
And balanced together.
I think the hard part about the assessment center is they don't know how to prep for it before they've done it.
Yeah.
But you're right.
I'm like,
so what?
I think it's a good. You have to think on your feet.
You do.
So I like it.
Yeah.
I also like that they can pick from the top 3 or the top 2. Like it's not just like this person
100%.
scored.
I'm
Okay,
with
what
you.
if they're a terrible human?
Yeah.
I mean, nobody in Natick, but
Right, but what if they're just
What
not good
if-
at being leaders? Not everybody's a good
Not
leader.
everyone's a
you
good
might be
leader.
a great firefighter, great paramedic, not a great leader.
right.
That's okay.
So I really like that.
Yeah, I think
That's
so too. I
changed
think you're right.
It used to just
Yeah.
be like but
Whoever's number one on that list.
so it's good.
I agree. But I've also, we don't always agree with our spouses on whatever they think. And for me, a lot of times I'll be like, you think that's bad, but that's just because it's different. And they're not good with change.
Oh my god, that should be a whole episode.
So tell me about that.
I
Yeah.
don't even know where to start.
I know, like as Robbie always says to me, firefighters hate change and they hate the way things are.
It's like the old boys club. Mm-hmm. It's basically like they never change. They can never. They literally physically.
But they like to complain about the way things are anyways.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You complain about it, but
Don't do anything to change it.
correct.
Yeah.
That is like the logo of
Of the fire department. I know. I wonder if that's true, like nationwide, or if that's just our town. Like the town
Oh
that
no, I
they're
think
in.
it's nationwide. Have you
think
read Things You Save in a Fire?
No.
It's about a woman firefighter, and it's around here. It's supposed to be based around here.
Okay.
And it's hilarious. And it's like, oh my god, like all of like the woman can't be here, and like everything that they have to change. Well, where do we put the nudie magazines? Like, all, you know what I mean? It's just
Don't.
like she's
Just
also,
like-
she's got this.
Yeah.
She's fine. She knows
Actually-
what she's getting into.
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned that. Robbie was telling me he's taking a class right now, and I don't know anybody's name, so I'm not going to be revealing anything. But one of the older guys, I guess, he's just like a very grumpy old man. Not old, but like kind of older for being a firefighter. And he was just complaining about like now they have to have women's bathrooms and this and that and whatever. And Robbie's like, yeah. But it's crazy that even still exists. There are still people who think that way.
I know. And we always
What
talked
year
about.
are we in?
I know, but like it's like, could that grumpy old man pull Robbie out of a fire, or could that young, strong woman?
Mm-hmm.
90% of the time, I'm voting for.
Yeah, or both.
Or
like,
both,
why can't
right.
we coexist? You
No,
know?
right? But I'm
Yeah.
saying like,
yeah, if you have to
it's
pick one.
funny that like, could you do it?
Thankfully, I don't think Robbie or Matt are quite so old-fashioned. I don't think, at least. But yeah.
If you can do the job, do the job.
Do the job, right?
cares?
Who cares? It doesn't matter.
That's like I was reading an article, not to get very political. I think she was a Navy pilot, and that whole thing about like we can't have different guidelines for women in the military. And she was like, you don't. We do everything they do. Something along the lines of people were thinking that we bend the rules or we make them softer for women. And she's like, no, I do exactly what they do. And then if I can't, then I'm grounded. Like
Right.
it's like, it was
Right.
so funny, the weird thought that like we just automatically think that they can't do everything. But they're like literally up there doing it.
Of course
It's
they
like,
are.
what?
Yeah, and they're doing it and going through all the stuff that a woman goes through that we pretend isn't real. I can't imagine what it must be like for the female firefighters who are on Natick with our husbands. So I won't use any names. I don't know if I'm allowed to. But, they have to deal with this kind of stuff. And
I know.
and the whole thing of like they did an all-gender bathroom recently or whatever. And that's a big thing. It's a big topic. Yeah.
okay.
I don't know. Maybe Matt didn't mention it, but it's been a big topic, I guess. And I'm like, who cares? You guys all know each other.
You all poo.
You all poo. Everybody
cares?
poos.
Everybody
Like,
poops.
lock the door.
What's the
knock
difference?
on the door before you walk in.
It's
like
a oneie, right?
that one is.
So?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, why such
If
a
it's
big
a-
deal? Who cares? I don't know. They make such a fuss about things that like aren't really that big of a deal.
Right?
I don't know.
That's so funny.
I know, but I feel like that might be a little bit men in general.
Maybe.
Maybe now I'm the one being sexist. I don't know.
I feel like we're allowed a little bit.
A little bit in exchange.
Also, it goes along with the no change. We cannot change.
Yeah,
We can-
right.
Yeah.
I think that's all the questions I had.
Oh my God.
Thank you so much for being my first guest.
so welcome.
I'm so excited to do some more of this, and
please, yes.
I'll send it to you when it's ready, and we'll take
Oh
it
my
from
God.
there. After we left, Colleen had some time to reflect and sent me this little snippet, which I thought was a beautiful way to end the episode.
Okay, I was reflecting on the drive home about how funny we thought it was that we were sort of talking more about the fire side of things than sort of focusing on being a fire wife or what that means. And I think, at least for me, it's almost part of my identity being a firewife. Like, I'm a mom and I'm a firewife. And that sounds weird and I can't explain it. And maybe it's me, or maybe it's a public servant thing if you have a public servant, spouse or partner. But it's just such a big part of your life, the firehouse and everything that goes on. And the mentality and all of it is just so ingrained in your life. It's not like having like an IT job, which is funny, which what Matt has now, but it's completely different and it literally becomes a part of you, or at least for me, like I said. So I think it's really hard to separate being a fire wife or just a wife and the fire department. It's literally kind of conjoined and together and really strange. It's a strange thing that maybe only public servant spouses can understand, but I think that's why it's hard to differentiate.
Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed being here as much as I did. If you have any questions for me, or if you'd like to be interviewed, please reach out at thefirewivespodcast@gmail.com. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Tune in next week for the next episode of Firewives.